Mission successful. Bomb has been located. Located a bomb. You must recover the diffuser.
There's no better place to start than at the beginning, where once I was just a noob. Now I'm an upside down hot breach repel noob. Fortunately though, the gameplay of Rainbow Six Siege has improved more than my own personal gameplay. And that's today what I wanted to talk about, because this game is now entering its 5th year of support. And quite frankly, that is incredible. The fact that over all these 4 years, of all the games that have come and been, this is the one that I've been playing all that time. I haven't necessarily been playing it the most, but it's the one that I keep coming back to year after year. And I wanted to cover that, why that is, the things I really love about this game, and why I think it has been so successful during this time. Now, this game first started coming on my radar during the autumn of 2015. Eventually the beta came out and I was playing it. And it was pretty terrible. The main problem was you just couldn't connect to the servers, and I made videos about that, the fact that you just couldn't connect and you couldn't experience the game. But going into it, I wasn't really expecting to like it. Up until that point, the most competitive game I'd played really was Battlefield, and that is in essence a casual game, so I hadn't played a competitive shooter and I really didn't think I would enjoy it. But I was not quite ready for how much this game would grip me and how much that competitive gameplay would really grab me and make me want to keep playing. I wasn't able to play many games, but that moment you saw at the beginning of the video and the ace I managed to get during the beta really sold me on this game and competitive gaming as a whole. I never expected to enjoy the pressure and the stakes and the wanting to improve, but it is so satisfying, and even after 4 years I still enjoy learning more and trying to find out where I can improve my game. And I think the depth of this game has been one of its key reasons for its success. Most competitive games already have a fair amount of depth to them. If you look at a game like CSGO, there's a lot of strategies. Where do you push on the map? Which site do you plant? Which place in the site do you plant? And then you've got to balance your economy. Do you go for an eco round, or do you just go all in and try and win the round with the best weapons? It's all about balancing that. And then Siege has similar elements to this, minus the economy system. But it takes it to another level with the unique operators, their abilities, and the destruction. The destruction to this day is still allowing people to find new tricks, new angles, new ways of developing counter strategies, and that is what is so interesting with this game. And now with all the maps being reworked to try and make them more competitive, it means we've got even more we can learn. And to be honest, the support of this game has been phenomenal. When it first came out and the servers were frankly terrible, and the netcode was nowhere near up to par, a lot of people were struggling to see this game lasting more than a few months. In fact, when the Black Ice and Dustline seasons were coming out, people were already starting to speculate that this game was going to die in a few months' time. However, the developers kept working on it, and by the time Operation Skull Rain came out in September 2016, the game really cranked it up a notch and just went all out, and that for me was one of the best times to be in the game. They added in the impact grenades and the claymores, and that was just where I really started enjoying the game again. I really liked that meta and that kind of gameplay, and it really got me back into it. And the game continued going from strength to strength from there. When the game had its first anniversary and had the first invitationals, it was a really hyped up time for the game. And it was a time that I really enjoyed being part of the community, being a player, and just engaging with this game. And I think the support and the respect between the developers and the community is where this game has really succeeded. I think it's fair to say the developers know that the community helped build this game from nothing. If the game was released now in the state it was when it first came out, I'd be surprised if it succeeded. It was really touch and go as to whether this game made it with all the issues it had. But the community stuck with it, the developers stuck with it, and now we have a game that is still growing after 4 years. And the reason I think the developers respect the community is because every time there's been a controversy, for instance we had Operation Censorship where they were going to censor the game for one specific region, there was also the time when they were going to increase the base price of the game, and the community responded very negatively towards that. And in turn, the developers reversed those plans, did a complete 180 and apologised. In fact, when it came to the base price increase for the game, the apology was to give us a free Elite skin for Ash, which everyone knows would have probably sold like hotcakes. And it was those kind of gestures that has really shown that developers do care about their community. While I don't want to say it's rare, because that isn't true, it's not as common to see such willingness to admit they were wrong and very quickly form an apology to the community. And I think that has just strengthened the relationship overall, and is why we still have this open discussion, and the game is just going from strength to strength in my opinion. And with all that new content coming in, it's meant that even when I haven't played the game for a while, because I quite often find myself not playing it for 2 or 3 months, I'll come back because there's new things to try out, there's still new things to learn. And it's impressive, because the thing that first got me into this game was that it captured something I'd always wanted but never had experienced outside of a single player campaign. When I was playing Modern Warfare 2's campaign, when I first started playing first person shooters, I really liked the Gulag mission because you had those breach and clear sections. You put your breaching charge on the wall, you breached in, you had to slow-mo take out all the enemies in the room in a slow-mo cutscene kind of combat sequence, and I really liked that, and I wanted that kind of thing in a multiplayer game. And then Siege has that. You get to breach in, you've got to work out how you're going to get into that room, and you get to take anyone out inside so you can secure the objective, and that's what I wanted. And the thing that really struck out to me as to how much I wanted this core gameplay was this clip I'm about to show you in the background. Because for me, it captures everything I like about this game. The breaching in, the clearing the room, and the improvised defense once you try and secure the objective. That very quick fire change in dynamic and the ability to think on your toes is what I've loved about this game. So I'll let this clip play out.
Planted. Defended from enemy action. "45 seconds remaining. Bomb. 30 seconds. Seconds left. 5 seconds left until the bomb is defused. Bomb defused. Mission successful.
It's the problem solving that I love. The working out how you're going to approach this situation, thinking on your toes if something has to change, and then adapting to whatever your opponents are doing is just really satisfying. And what's more, with the game having been out for 4 years and now with a commitment to support it for more than 2 more years, it always gives you a chance to learn something new. I've said in a few videos that one of the skills I was learning this year was just improving my aggressiveness and actually getting into the building as an attacker. It's something that a lot of players don't do, and it catches them out and you lose rounds in rather an unfun way. I now personally prefer to lose a fight in the building than to survive the round rappelling outside a window. But another skill I've more recently been improving is my upside down rappel gameplay. This is something I've never been good at because it's really unusual to actually have this in a game where you're actually upside down and having to try and find out where your enemies are. I find it really uncomfortable, but I've been watching quite a lot of videos by Pengu, who plays for G2, and I've sort of seen what he does. How does he approach upside down rappel, and how can you use it to try and minimise your character's exposure? And I've actually had some success. I'm not going to say I'm flawless at it. I still struggle to find people, but by doing it and trying it every now and then, I'm starting to get better. And I've also been trying to just generally improve my game sense and awareness, going for shots that I normally wouldn't have. Quite often, you'd forget that the walls in this game are soft and you can just shoot straight through them. I've now been starting to just try and shoot through walls, and I've been finding myself picking off quite a few kills by doing so. Of course, you've got to know when to use it. Unfortunately, one clip I wasn't able to record was a clutch I had on bank. I was in a 1v2 situation, I took out the first player, and I just rounded the corner pre-firing where I expected the second one to be. I happened to down them, and I was able to clutch out the round in for what was for me a very satisfying way. And just doing this, pre-firing every now and then when I think someone might be somewhere, has led to some really cool moments and some pretty spicy shots which I've very much enjoyed. And just trying to improve my knowledge of the game and just being willing to take shots that I wouldn't have before has meant that I'm winning rounds that I previously wouldn't have, and perhaps I shouldn't even be winning now, which has been really satisfying. And it's really cool that still going into the 5th year of the game, I'm still learning things, I've still got new things to try, and there's always new problems to solve. And fundamentally, that is what I love about this game. I love problem solving, that's why I do it for a job, and it's why I like to still play this game. And what's more, knowing the game is still going to be around for several years to come, and that we have developers that respect the community and will listen to our feedback, just means that there's no reason for me to turn away from this game. There's nothing making me say, you know what, I'm done. There's always something new to come back to, and that is why I've enjoyed and loved playing Rainbow Six Siege over these 4 years. Long may it continue. But I'm interested to hear what some of your experiences have been. If you're still playing this after 4 years, what sold you on the game? Was it the competitive gameplay, or was it one specific moment that happened that made you say, yep, I want to play this game? Are there any things you're looking forward to in the future? For me, I'm just waiting for the announcement that Rainbow's Magic 2 is happening. Also, if you have any questions about this game, do you want to get into it, are you interested, feel free to leave that in the comment section down below. I'm sure myself and other people watching this will be more than happy to answer your questions. But anyway, I've been the guy with no gamer tag, and I'll see you on another video.